I'm looking through a list of Pope names. You tell me if you're Pope.
Okay.
What are you stopping at? The most common one ever is John.
No.
I get why. That's not quite fancy enough.
John
I go
the
no on
Revelator.
John. Second most popular, Gregory. How are we feeling on Gregory? It's old timey, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that spice.
I like
For
Gregory
me, it
as
was
a
ruined
name.
in Walking Dead.
Yeah, Gregory is
Also,
a good name.
There's a
Strong
Gregory in
name.
Walking Dead?
Yes, he's absolutely horrible. He's a coward. He sells out his own people. He's a villain. They eventually hang him for being a traitor. But the worst of all is the cowardness of it. Like, he was a traitor because he was afraid to stand up to Negan. So he just sold his own people. Not Gregory for me.
My uncle's name was Greg. I like that name. I would pick that name. I like if I had seconds on names, I think I'd go with that name.
Well, I hope that
a
he would run the Hilltop much better than the Gregory.
I'd go with Greg, though. I don't want to be Gregory. You know, maybe on a letterhead or something, like, or in a court document.
Taylor, any more options? I want to hear.
Oh, yes. We got Benedict, Clement, Leo, Innocent.
I like Innocent.
In Pope. Oh, what are you even talking about? Do you not know my name? Me stealing gold from the peasants doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound credible.
Don't believe those children. I'm Pope Innocent.
Now, I'm Pope Innocent. Pope Pius. I don't like that one. That's a little too like on the
pious.
Nose. It's like just be pious.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to say it. You know, somehow Pope Innocent is
how do we get
less
to adjectives?
braggadocious than pious. How about an older timey one?
That's a good point. Why did they go to adjectives? Why are they like? Why are you? Can you be Pope Handsome?
You could be Pope Cool, Pope Chill,
Pope Dope. I
like that. Sixtus, Sixtus, Pope Sixtus.
That I think that's my leading one so far.
That's pretty cool. I'm going down to like the older style ones. How about Sergius? That's old timey too.
What does it mean? Is that a Greek word? What does it mean? What does Sergius mean? Does it mean that I'm powerful and influential?
It means servant or guardian.
It's the opposite.
So the opposite of what you wanted.
Yeah, the opposite of being Sergius. No, I don't want to be that at all.
How about Calixtus?
That guy fucks.
Ooh. You think Calixtus fucks?
Yeah. Pope Calixtus, more girls for you, sir. I've already went through the others. Good. He'd be like an evil rapey pope. What's it?
Calixtus.
Calixtus. It sounds like Severus Snape. Like that's the name you would give an evil guy in a narrative. I like that.
Yeah, what's your choice?
I think Sixtus is pretty cool.
That's what I landed on too.
That's pretty Roman sounding. It sounds old timey. It's like if it's like Pope Steve, it's like get fucking real. Like, but this, it's like Pope Sergius.
What do you think of them choosing such a young pope at the tender age of 69?
Yeah, but a babe.
Yeah, he's the youngest one in a while. Taylor, do you know?
I don't know. I
know the last two were in their 70s. Pope John, I remember he had a really long reign, right? So maybe he was just not as old when he started.
Shot too.
Pope Benedict the Ninth was the youngest ever pope. Aged 20.
What?
Elected. Yeah.
Wow. What year was that?
That was the year 1032.
See, but when adjusted for lifespan, he was probably a ripe 20. 20 was like 45 back then. He was already downhill.
No, if you're the Pope, you're getting good foods, you're getting solid shit.
No, I just don't care. I just don't care about the Pope. What does the Pope do, and how would he influence our lives in any way? As non-Catholics.
When the Pope says something you agree with, you use him as an authority to reinforce your point. That is what the Pope is for.
Yeah, I think it's all silly, if I'm being honest. When I see them walking around in their wizard robes and their silly hats, waving their incense, I just think it's so silly and embarrassing for them. I can't wait till everyone wakes up and sees the emperor has no clothes and that you've got a bunch of old pedophiles dancing around in wizard robes, millions of dollars in their bank account. Not this last Pope, by the way. I hear he was like poor as fuck. Like he had $20 or something when he died. Like he didn't live in the papal mansion. He lived in some side quarters. They showed his bed. It was pathetic.
He doesn't buy his own thing.
It was pathetic. No, I like the pomp and circumstance.
I like
Really?
the
Oh, I
who
don't
lives
like
as a-
all the gold, all the
I
swinging stuff
hate that
around.
a lot. But I was picturing myself as Pope because apparently you don't have your own money, but you do have a huge budget.
Mm.
They'd just be like, "Yeah, Woody, he lived a modest life." Kind of a wild fish tank budget, to be honest.
I needed this real fish, and they're like, "Yeah, stop talking like that. We know you're not. What are you saying? I'm at the Pope." Yeah,
Except I can't do accents. So you're like, this is my Pope accent.
Just do this.
This is my Pope accent.
That helps. That sells it.
Yeah, I heard that too about the previous Pope, where they're like, he had one pair of shoes, a shitty bed, and like a, I don't know, one pair of underwear, and lived in a little house. And it's like, okay, but anytime he wants, he can be like, stakes on, boys.
That's the point,
Like,
though, that he doesn't. Like the idea was that he was living like that for a reason. Perhaps you would think if you're actually a believer, you would like part of the religion would be to live in absolute poverty. Like because the whole thing to non-believers would be like, yeah, we live like this. In the afterlife, we get a river of gold we swim in all day. Our house is made of diamonds. Like we're happy to live as peasants and paupers and give all we have away to the poor.
The OG popes, I don't know if it can be overstated how much easier it is to be Pope now than it was like early days.
Okay.
Early popes were like getting crucified upside down and flayed alive and tortured to death.
Sawed.
Sawed in half. That's how one. I don't remember
like meddling a lot.
At that point, they had no institutional power. They were just trying to like spread it. Like they didn't have.
But they had. Well, maybe I'm missing out my time periods, but I thought they had like a ton of influential power to the point where kings.
So eventually,
that would be eventually in like the Middle Ages after Christianity had grown. I'm talking about like Saint Peter, like the first guy.
Oh, right.
Like,
that means something to me.
Like one of the apostles, the first pope. And then after him, some other guy. And so, like, this is literally the year like 7 or the year like 40. And so like by like year like 1040, sure, the Pope had a lot of power. Like the King of France, King of England were like, we hate each other. We're going to go to war. We better make sure the Pope weighs in because we can't have this guy taking one of our sides because then the other side is fucked. Because then all the Catholics in our army are going to be like, you want us to fight against the side the Pope is pulling for? Go fuck yourself. Not going to happen. But really early on, these guys were getting tortured, murdered regularly. It would be like, the fourth Pope's reign, it went from year 87 to almost 88. And then he was fought by legionaries and torn asunder by stallions or some horrible thing.
There's like a dozen popes that were killed in a horrific way or another, presumably by the Romans before Rome accepted Christianity in like the year 300 or something. I think Constantine had a big battle and he saw a crucifix in the sky or something. And then he won the battle. And then he was like, that's all the sign I need. No more of that polytheism. It's the Christian God for us from now on. And 10 years later, the entire Roman Empire was Christian and it stayed that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember what the battle was, but that is the story I remember reading about. Is some like very difficult battle against I don't even know. I don't even know what religion, if it was even a religious battle, because that was pre-Islam. That was probably not.
It was the year 300, roughly, like pretty close. It's the year 300 when the battle happened. So I don't know who Rome's enemies were in the year 300.
Persia. Harley, we've just been chatting about the Pope. We picked our favorite Pope names. Kyle, I don't even think came up with a good one. I think he was like Gregory. He's kind of traditional in that way. Woody and I liked Pope Sixtus. Very
Sixtus?
Yes.
How do you spell that?
Sixtus. Like
what kind of fucking Age of Empires ass fucking name is that? Where'd you get the Sixtus from?
Well, list of Pope names.
I pulled up papal name Wikipedia and it shows all the
It's a stupid name. It means the sixth. Clearly, like I bet he was the sixth Pope, wasn't he?
How about this? How about Pope Silverius? That guy's all by himself. No, there's only one dude who ever went. Oh, Severinus.
What makes it a Pope name? Are there deemed names, or just these are the names that popes select? They select them.
Yeah, once they become Pope, they pick a Pope name.
So they often choose a name from a prior pope that represented the style of pope that they want to be. So like maybe if it was a more listening pope, they wanted to hear what the people had to say more, like their current pope, pick Leo. I don't know anything about Pope Leo, but I'm told Pope Leo was a people person and supported workers' rights and unions and such. So I think you pick a name of a prior pope who represented the kind of pope that you intend to be. Pope Trump.
Pope Trump. Nah, it doesn't have that old-timey feel to it.
Yeah. You know, I honestly don't understand why. Like, I would definitely be like, no, you got to do your own shit. But that shit that Pope John and Pope Sixtus did has no fucking clue or comparison to it. The shit you're gonna have to deal with, bro. Like, this is World War III. You're gonna have to bring a lot more than John.
I'd sell the name.
You got to think of your own.
John's the most common one.
Is it? Corporate sponsor out the name. That's the move. Just like a ballpark. Like, I know it's going to be embarrassing to work in like
Pope Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yes, Pope Preparation H. Okay, and you change your name every year. You're going to want to cycle that out. You're going to want to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
No, you gotta like. If it's up for sale, then at that point it's endless. I mean, like they can come in and have it be Pope Jew. Someone could buy that. Pope Islam. They could buy it out. Like, that'd be crazy. You guys start renting the spot out.
We don't accept
there'd already be bids on the next Pope that's not in yet to lock it in.
That's true. It would be like
for that. I'm gonna change my name next year to the Saudi one that they buy. I don't know.
Honestly, I've always liked the idea of changing my name. When I was younger, well, first of all, I went through many stages. But when I was younger, I was like, oh, why am I so tall? And my name is Harley, and I'm gay. Like, I would think, but like, I'd be like, why couldn't I just be normal sized and named Derek or Mark?
Why Derek or Mark instead of Harley? What's wrong with Harley?
Well, just cool. When it's like 1994 and you're the biggest kid in class and you're very large and gay. Not actually. I'm straight. I'm very straight.
How many taxes are they collecting in Vatican City anyway?
I don't know, but how does the tithe system work? Like if you give money to a Catholic church, either in taking $5 and putting it in the bucket, or if you write in some, $100,000 endowment to them, what percentage of that money eventually ends up in the Vatican? Like some percentage, right?
I think very little. Like if you're donating in like Indiana, I feel like that's going to get used like in those.
But what if you're in like the biggest church in New York, like some giant cathedral that's not hurting for cash or any of that? Like, does their money go up the ladder like the mob? I picture it like the mob.
I have no
money
idea.
Just moves up to the big man, the Pope, and he's just up there, collecting from everybody. He gets a little piece of the pie.
And he's not even spending it. He's fucking sleeping on a shitty bed with one pair of shoes.
Well, you may have seen the last Pope donated his Pope mobile to the children of Gaza. They're doing donuts in that shit.
That's kind of an FU to the next Pope, where it's like, get your own car.
Where's my car? My wheels.
What's up, Harley? How are you?